Hello and welcome to Late to School, a Sailor Moon watchcast. I'm Lorena.
And I'm Zach. Are you not used to saying a Sailor Moon watchcast again? Do you have to, get re-used to saying that again?
No, did I sound like I...
No, I just in general, I feel like for our first few episodes, for any given season, you're a little hesitant in saying a blank watchcast.
Okay.
But I feel like we have to get used to it being Sailor Moon again.
That's fair, yeah. Today we're going to be continuing Sailor Moon R.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching the next two episodes
Yes.
in the season.
And now I feel like I have a better grasp on this season than the first episode gave me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or at least this arc, rather.
I initially wanted to, maybe watch all three of these episodes for our first episode, but
really?
It seemed like too much. It seemed like way too much.
Okay.
Because, a major component of this arc is not introduced until the third episode.
Right, uh-huh.
So our first episode this week is episode 48, For Love and for Justice, Sailor Guardians Once Again.
Uh-huh.
I
wonder what happens in this episode.
Yeah. It was directed by our friend Yuichi Endo.
Right, uh-huh.
Written by Katsuyuki Sumizawa, and with animation direction by Shinya Hasegawa.
Okay.
It first aired March 13th, 1993 in Japan, and November 23rd, 1995 in English.
Okay. So we open this episode in on a mirror image there's a store called She.
Yeah.
Just the word She in English.
Yeah. Like you do.
And we see Mamoru
Mm-hmm.
there. And Mamoru, I think, he's standing on a street corner. I'm not sure. I guess he's maybe waiting for a bus. I can't remember if he's at a bus stop or not.
No, he's just on the curb. He's just taking in some air,
yeah.
Sometimes you just need to stop.
Yeah.
Right there and be.
So that we see a car sort of pass Mamoru on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And when it fades away, Usagi has teleported in behind Mamoru.
Uh-huh.
And is immediately sort of grabbing onto his arm.
Yeah.
And is clearly very excited to have her memories back of Mamoru.
Yeah.
And is being very affectionate with him. And he does not have his memories back yet.
No.
So he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey.
Are you okay?
What?
This is not our usual character dynamic. And Usagi is disappointed to realize that he does not remember anything of their relationship. And then Natsumi Genga, aka On, except the characters don't know that yet.
She's across the street.
Yes.
And she target spotted Mamoru.
Uh-huh.
That well-dressed guy.
Uh-huh.
She sees him and immediately starts running across the street through traffic.
Uh-huh. She yells, "Hey, Tsukino, don't let that guy get away."
It's also, I want to say, it's so weird. Everyone in this show is so familiar with each other that they just use their first names.
To introduce a character who does not follow that rule.
We've finally gotten a character who is only acquaintances with one of our main characters, and hearing someone refer to Usagi as just Tsukino is bizarre.
It is very weird. It is also I feel like it adds a lot to Natsumi's lines from an American perspective. Because she's the only one who just calls Usagi by her last name. Yeah. And that that has a different connotation in communication between American teenagers than Japanese teenagers. That makes all her lines really funny.
Natsumi and Usagi are just on the football team together. That's what this is.
Oh. God, now you've got me thinking of fucking Sailor Moon plus High School Musical.
That's basketball.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, it's a sport.
Yeah.
And also, it's the only It's the only sport-based media I give a shit about.
Okay, fair.
So yeah, Natsumi is like, hey, don't let that guy get away. And Usagi is like, Natsumi? And I also does not reciprocate. That's another thing to note there.
Huh?
Usagi does not reciprocate the calling her by her last name thing.
Oh,
Usagi
right.
never calls her Genga.
Yeah,
she just calls her Natsumi.
That seems in character for Usagi.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know what it's like in the Japanese dialogue, but Usagi just being a person in Japan who only calls people by their first names seems accurate.
Yes. I love the idea that she's just overly friendly with everybody. And Mamoru
I should say, like, because this is a thing I am familiar with, but maybe other people listening are not. And I want to also make clear I'm no expert on Japanese culture. So I could get stuff wrong about this, but in Japan, generally you do not refer to people by their first name, by their given name, unless you know them really well.
Right.
Or you're an asshole. Like, generally it is just like last name, especially in like school, in like professional settings, or in school, like referring to your classmates by their last name is generally what you do. Okay.
Last name, and I assume an honorific, or not even that.
I'm not entirely. I'm not sure. I think honorifics are generally only attached to given names.
Okay.
But I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
Though I guess, like, sensei can technically be an honorific, and you would probably refer to your teacher as, like, Tomita sensei or something like that.
Sensei.
Yeah, Haruna sensei. But I'm not sure. Anyway,
Mamoru is like, oh man, not another weirdo.
Yeah.
Which is a literal verbatim line he says. And then, okay, again, just like Usagi teleporting, there is a shot where we see all three of these characters. Natsumi is closer to the camera because she is in the street. The camera is sort of in the street. And then a bus drives by and Natsumi is gone. So I see that and I think, oh, okay, Natsumi has been run over by a bus, so now we're focusing on Usagi and Mamoru.
So now we're in an isekai. Yeah. Natsumi has reincarnated and now she's a fucking slime.
Can you imagine, like, an isekai story where the main character is an alien?
Yeah, Superman.
No, but I was gonna say, you're right, first of all. I was going to say, an isekai story where the main character is an alien, but also...
They're an alien on Earth.
They're an alien on Earth who then go to a fantasy world.
Yes, who die and reincarnate in a fantasy world. Yeah, yeah, I want that. Let me write that. I'm gonna learn Japanese and write that light novel.
Like, people talk about, like, reverse isekai and stuff, where you're in a fantasy world and you go to the real world.
Yeah.
Which is enchanted, also.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of just a sideways isekai, where you go from one alien environment to another alien environment. Anyway, Natsumi has been run over by a bus, and Usagi starts trying to focus again on getting Mamoru to remember her. But Mamoru is late to work.
Yeah.
I really wish he had fucking toast in his mouth.
God.
But
imagine if he just ran off, pulled a slice of toast from a bag and put it in his mouth. From
the pocket of his stupid green jacket.
Yeah, I don't think he's wearing his green jacket in this scene.
No, you're right. I'm pretty sure he's wearing the purple pants.
Yeah, he's wearing like a blazer or something. Or I guess the green jacket is a
blazer canonically, but yeah.
He's wearing like a normal blazer.
Yeah, not a dark green. Not really dark green, like a forest green.
Yeah.
God, it would be so easy and so terrible to cosplay Mamoru Chiba.
Yeah, it absolutely would. I've seen good cosplays of Mamoru.
And yeah, he runs off. He escapes from Usagi's grasp, and Usagi is sad. And then Natsumi shows up again from a position on the street that would make sense if she did get run over by that bus. I'm just saying.
She's an alien. She's fine.
She's fine, yeah. And they start arguing, basically, with Natsumi being like, hey, first of all, Natsumi is very annoyed at her that she did not contain Mamoru.
Yeah,
That she let him escape.
And
that she, a 14-year-old girl, could not contain a late-for-work adult man.
Yeah.
That is like twice her size.
Late-for-work 17-year-old man.
Right, 17, right. I think, again, the timeline...
I mean, if Usagi is
It was only 2 months after the time skip thing, except not time skip.
Right,
whatever.
But, like, also Usagi is 14 still.
So Usagi is 14 still. So it would be weird if Mamoru had aged.
I don't know. I don't know how this works. She still seems to be in her first year at middle school. I don't know.
Wait, no, that's not true. There's a line later that explicitly...
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about it then.
But I mean, it's not a fucking spoiler. Ami mentions that they're going to be third year soon.
Oh, huh. Okay. Anyway,
Natsumi, Usagi is like, hey, no, he's taken. And
Natsumi is unconvinced.
Yes, Natsumi is like, didn't seem that way. And Usagi is like, okay, well, not right now. Like, and then Natsumi says, I did write down this verbatim.
Okay.
Mamoru. First of all, she learns Mamoru's name from Usagi in this scene also.
She learns Mamoru's name and Mamoru learns Usagi's name, notably.
Yes, Natsumi says, Mamoru, I, Natsumi Ginga, will pierce your heart and all your passion receptor points with arrows of adoring love.
Crazy stalker.
Yes, which is what Usagi says. Passion receptor points.
Passion receptor points.
Do we even want to...
No.
Okay.
I'm still not sure how old Natsumi and...
That's true.
And Seijiro really
Although,
are.
also, I do like to imagine that's just a thing with their species.
Yeah. Passion receptor points.
Yeah, you know.
That's not even sex, that's just dating.
Yeah,
You just pierce someone's passion receptor point
with arrows of adoring love.
Take them out for dinner.
It's literal arrows.
Yeah.
Again, not a sex thing, but vaguely comparable to love darts from slugs.
Wait, is that not a sex thing?
No, that's a sex thing.
Okay.
I was saying vaguely comparable.
Okay.
I'm saying explicitly this is not a sex thing. They do just shoot barbs out of their flesh.
Okay.
I really love the fiction we've developed of Ale and On just their species just being weird and gross.
And then we cut away from this scene.
Yes, we cut to the cats in Usagi's room, who are chatting about the new enemy that has appeared. Also, I did note down here, first of all, Luna is like, hey, maybe we should give all the other Sailor Guardians their memories back.
Yeah.
And Artemis is actually the one who's like, we can't do that because they're living normal lives now. Also, I did note down, so earlier, Usagi said Mamoru with like a roll in the R.
Yeah, that's.
And then now Artemis in this scene says Minako. And I'm what is happening?
Maybe there was a change in voice directors, and the voice director was like emphasizing the correct Japanese pronunciation of these names.
Maybe. I feel like,
although they do say Makoto later still, so.
And I feel like they say Minako later again.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be inconsistent.
Also, all of these voice actors have worked on a ton of different stuff with a ton of different voice direction for how to pronounce that stuff.
Yeah. I assume most of these are fairly common names.
Yeah.
With the exception of Usagi, which is not a name.
Right. But also, the Japanese R is a common thing that, between dubs of
changes.
Different stuff is just very different.
Okay. But yeah, then Usagi is here also, and is sad, and is complaining to the cats about Mamoru not remembering her. And she wants Luna to give Mamoru his memories back, which I'm not even sure she can do. I'm not sure.
Luna doesn't say that she can't.
That's true,
But she does say that they only have plans to give the memories back to the other Sailor Guardians, maybe.
Right. And then Usagi is like, I don't think you have to do that.
Yeah.
Because Usagi is certain that she can handle this on her own and doesn't want to, pull the other girls out of their normal lives.
Mm-hmm.
And the cats are very impressed with how mature that is. And then Usagi goes back to, boy problems. And then it's like sweat drop moment for the cats. It's like, that's I do get tired of that joke sometimes.
What joke?
There's so many jokes in this show have that exact same structure where Usagi says something pretty mature about Sailor Guardian shit, and the cats are like, cool. And then she says some other normal Usagi shit, and the cats do a sweat drop, and then they're upset. And it gets a little old with how many jokes follow that structure.
I think, I have the opposite reaction. It happens so often that I just kind of don't notice it.
It's like water off a duck's back.
Yeah,
for you.
Exactly. But that's fair. It is not the best joke.
Mm-hmm. I would rather they just commit to some actual character development with Usagi sometimes. She does get that development, but Also, I will point out the pre-cap for this episode has Usagi begging Luna to give the other Sailor Guardians their memories back.
Those aren't canon.
Yeah, I know. It's just, why would you do that?
Yeah. The pre-cap could have easily just been her begging Luna to give Mamoru his memories back like she is doing.
Yeah. And then we cut to the office building apartment. Again, it's the same fucking series of shots.
It has a name. We see its name in this shot.
Oh, do we?
I didn't
notice.
The Juban Odyssea.
Odyssea?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's another Greek mythology reference.
Still no idea what it is.
No, it's a building.
But it's the Juban Odyssea.
It looks like, when we see the interior, it looks so much like an apartment building. To me.
I guess.
Like a very cool, well-decorated apartment.
Yeah. The way this show in particular draws apartment buildings and offices is so similar to me that it's hard.
I feel like that might just be architecture. I think that's just I mean, I think apartments tend to have more balconies if they have any.
And this building does have a lot of balconies. So
does it? Okay.
Maybe it is an apartment. I just didn't want to be like, oh, Japanese apartments and Japanese office buildings look very similar, because I don't fucking know.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm just completely lost on where you are with this, because they look like the same buildings to me here.
In America?
Yeah, I don't know what the difference... If you point to me to a big multi-story building, I would not know how to tell you what goes on in that building.
Particularly the interiors look very similar to me.
Okay, I see what you mean. I thought you meant the exteriors.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome to our fucking architecture
podcast.
God, can you imagine a podcast that just examined architecture in anime?
Write that down for a future April Fool's Day episode. And then, we see that the inside of that, what I'm going to call an apartment. And then some swatches of square colors, and then the Makai tree that is like next to all those colors. I don't know. I don't understand what I'm supposed to like. I don't understand how these locations are connected.
It's Geiger Hell.
Sure, but Geiger Hell never had just like an unrelated shot of the Antarctic.
Yeah, true.
Or Arctic? I can't remember.
It was the Arctic.
And then a shot of Geiger Hell.
Also, you said Makai tree. We learned that name in this scene.
Yes, we learned that name in this scene. Ale is monologuing about the Makai tree, the very source of our life. It's getting very weak. Its accumulated energy is running out.
So Makai is a word that is not translated here.
Okay.
Which I think is fine. But it means, like, very roughly, like, demon world, or evil world, or hell.
Okay.
So this is the hell tree.
This is the hell tree. God, it always comes back to hell.
It always comes back to hell.
And then I think Ale, I don't know, I can't remember if Ale is like playing his flute or if he's just observing the withering Makai tree.
Mm-hmm.
But On sort of teleports in and is expressing how tired she is from her work of cheating on Ale and getting run over by a bus.
Yeah, just lying. Like pretending that she was gathering energy when really she was just stalking Mamoru.
And also saying, I could really use some energy. And Ale is like, can't do it. Tree's running out. So this is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because they are dying.
Yeah.
They are potentially dying if they run out of energy.
We know for sure that On needs this energy. We haven't seen any indications that Ale does, but it's
true. But the way he says the source of our life,
right?
So it's possible that the tree like sustains both of them,
right? Yeah. And
they're like, well, got to gather more. Let's steal a lot of energy from humans. And they on Ale presents the cards, and On draws her tarot. She draws a cardian, which is Minotauron, which is it's a Minotaur lady.
Yeah, it's a Minotaur lady.
Who looks different when we see her later, like outside of the card. In the card, she really needs a shirt.
She doesn't have nipples.
She doesn't have nipples, but she could use a shirt.
That's fair.
I guess she's wearing the same amount of clothes in either version, but like her like lower body is red,
right,
and her upper body is blue. So like the fact that her
and her upper
breasts
body
are the same color as her face makes it look like they're naked.
That's fair,
even though they are also clearly covered in fur.
Yeah,
and there's no bullshit about like the flowers thing this time, which I appreciate. It's just like, it's a fucking Minotaur.
It's a fucking Minotaur, man.
Do they summon? They summon. No, they don't summon Minotaur.
Not yet. They've just selected her for their mission.
Yes. This would be a great video game setup. Also, you just have a deck of cards that, like, with monsters that you pick one and you have to play that monster, gathering energy and defeat the Sailor Guardians.
Yeah.
And then we cut.
Yeah.
To.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are as baffled by this as I am.
To TV Ashita.
Is that the name? I didn't catch the name.
Yeah.
It's a TV studio.
It's TV Ashita, which is a reference to the TV studio that aired Sailor Moon.
Okay.
TV Asahi.
Okay. And there's some men. Some men talking about. One of them sets the scene by saying, "We've narrowed the search for the role of Mikan Shiratori's younger sister to these final candidates."
A name that probably is not familiar to you. Mikan Shiratori was a character who appeared in season 1.
Oh.
I believe she was part of one of Nephrite's plans. Because I remember there was a plan Jadeite had that involved a celebrity. Maybe it was Jadeite. It was a celebrity who like did a live show or something that drained people's energy.
That might have been the Jadeite one. I can't remember now.
Okay, but she's appeared before.
Okay, that's really funny to me given her role in this episode, which we'll talk about. But the role of her younger sister in, I guess, a show, is being decided.
A TV drama, as we'll learn later.
And then they are saying this over our candidates are shown in
our candid.
Yes. Are shown in images on a projector. Just projected wide on a big fucking wall.
Yeah, this is like a big, like, not a, like, a moderately sized auditorium.
Yes.
With like 4 dudes in it.
With 4 dudes in it looking at pictures of familiar looking middle school students.
Yeah, such as Naru.
Usagi is also in the background, but she is not one of the candidates.
No.
She is explicitly not.
Ami, Rei, Mako, and Mina are all candidates.
Yes. For Mika, they explain later there was like a talent scout that went to the school,
but that's still creep.
Like, and these do look so much like candids.
A talent scout going to schools and just taking candid pictures of the girls there is fucking weird.
It feels a lot. Do you remember Art as an Explosion guy?
Yeah,
And how he was just like, you are my muse. I pick you. Like, that was weird, and he was possessed by a monster at that point.
Yeah.
Notably, these guys haven't like, this is not part of the plan yet that Ail and On have, because Ail and On show up in this scene, and On just evil eye knocks out the guys.
These TV executives
who are like, hey, what are you doing in there? And then she just does the thing. She does the thing with her eyes that she does sometimes.
Yeah.
And then they are knocked unconscious. And and Ail and On talk about potentially draining their energy, but no, they will get more energy from
young women.
Yes. Because that's just, I think that at this point is just sort of an established part of the lore of of Sailor Moon, is just middle school girls have the most magical energy inside of them to drain with monsters.
Yeah, I guess.
And then we cut to school, where during break or lunch or whatever, Usagi and Naru are talking, and Usagi is very excited that Naru is going to be on TV. And Naru is like, first of all, less loud, please. Second of all, don't know that yet. Gonna go to the TV station to audition. This is where she mentions the talent scout that contacted her, I guess.
But, like, did the talent scout contact her before taking the photos or after?
Yeah.
After the executives decided.
Also, there's other factors of that some of the other candidates complicate, which we can talk about when the time comes.
Also, we didn't mention Ail and On took over the TV studio.
Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like when they showed up and they knocked out, that's what happens, you know? But yeah, Naru is kind of excited, but she's also clearly nervous, and is like, hey, Usagi, can I, like, talk to you about something? And she says, you know how I seem to have a knack for getting involved in strange situations? I'm worried this might be one of those.
I love Naru has become savvy.
Yes.
To the fact that, man, that girl sure gets her energy drained a lot.
Which is also equally impressive, because technically she only remembers that happening once, as far as we know, consciously.
Right.
So that is potentially evidence of, like, the Guardians aren't the only ones who can start to slowly remember things.
Yeah.
Like, even people who aren't directly involved can start to remember this shit. Because, like, Naru is clearly remembering stuff that, as far as she knows, didn't happen. Again, consciously. This might just be an impulse that, you know, she hasn't dissected. And she probably doesn't know there's stuff missing from her memories, but she just gets this feeling ever since Vampire. But Usagi tries to reassure her, and says that if she wants, she can go with her if she feels unsafe. And Naru appreciates that, and then Usagi, again, just kind of fucking ruins it. And is like, I'll go and I'll audition, and then I'll become a star. And it's like, you have had character development since this phase of your life, Usagi. Come on.
Yeah.
You remember it now. There's no excuse for that. You have all your memories. And then we cut to the outside of the TV studio, where we see Ami showing up, and also Mako.
Yeah.
And Ami greets her by saying, "Oh, Miss Kino," which I thought was very cute. Again, Ami. Ami is formal enough to not just call everybody by their first name. And they chat, and then the other Sailor Guardians, except Usagi, who's with Naru, start showing up.
Yeah.
And they all sort of recognize each other, and they introduce themselves to each other, and it's really cute. Mako sounds super gay for Rei after her introduction.
Wait, really?
Because Rei gives her introduction, and then Mako very nervously introduces herself as Makoto Kino.
Oh, okay. Rei is dressed like a fucking businesswoman.
Is she? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, she's wearing like a blazer and like a pencil skirt.
I mean, gotta make a good impression.
Yeah,
Again, this is very in character for Rei, I feel.
Yeah. This seems like a good opportunity to talk about their voice actors.
Yeah.
So Rei's Japanese voice actress is Michie Tomizawa. Who is Roberta in Black Lagoon.
Okay.
And Sumire Kanzaki in Sakura Wars. And that's all I got.
Okay. I think I've heard of Black Lagoon and Sakura Wars, but I have no idea what they are.
Black Lagoon is like, what if...
Is that the one where the deaf lady fucks the fish man? Or...
Mako's voice actress...
Wait, no, you were going to explain what Black Lagoon is.
Who's the feet guy?
Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, Black Lagoon is like if a Tarantino film didn't have as much feet and was an anime. It's about pirates on the South China Sea.
I love that you were so dismissive of me for referencing The Shape of Water and then wanted to talk about... to make a comparison to Quentin Tarantino by calling him the feet guy.
That's what he deserves.
That's what he deserves.
God, he sucks. Anyway, Mako's voice actress is Emi Shinohara, who is Kaho Mizuki in Cardcaptor Sakura.
Okay. A lot of things with Sakura in the name.
Yeah. I mean, it just means cherry. Cherry blossom, I think. I
think there's less things mentioning cherry blossoms in United States media, though.
Yeah.
But we don't have as many cherry trees, I guess.
And also Angel in Big O.
Oh, I was really hoping you were going to say the dub of Angel, somehow.
God. Mina's voice actress is Rika Fukama. Who is Fran in Final Fantasy XII.
Okay.
And Hermione in a couple of Harry Potter games.
Okay, so I sort of buried the lead there. And then, after they've all introduced themselves to each other, they all sort of have a moment where the screen goes black on them and, like, shows their outline and stuff. And they're like, hey, this feels weirdly familiar.
Have we met each other before?
And I think Rei says, like, we haven't, but it definitely feels like we have, right? And Mako... I did write this down verbatim because I do just like this line coming from Mako specifically because it's very well written and in character for her. She just says, "I'm picking up the exact same vibe," which I just like.
Yeah,
I like that Mako would be the one to say vibe. Mako is like vibe check and then shocks you with electricity.
Yeah.
And then we cut to inside the studio where
Usagi is being denied entry.
Yes.
By a security guard.
But Naru is sort of being welcomed inside, and Naru sort of thanks Usagi, I think, for coming with her.
She thanks and apologizes.
Yes.
For wasting Usagi's time, since she will not be allowed to watch the auditions.
But then Usagi sees the other girls going inside, and she's very happy that they're all, like, okay and hanging out together and doing stuff, and it's very cute. how very clearly, like, Usagi is just happy to see them.
Yeah.
And then inside, a guy is talking about the audition. I think it's inside that same auditorium we saw earlier, maybe?
No, because there's this big stage in here.
There is a big stage, yeah. Well, is there? Is there a big stage? Because...
Yeah?
Okay.
I don't remember anything that makes that big stage weird.
I can think of a thing.
Okay.
There's a guy talking to them about the audition, and then Ami stands up and is like, "Sir, I can't."
Thank you?
Thank you.
I gotta study, though.
I can't be in a TV show. She came all this way.
Just to say no. They don't have email. I mean, they do have email.
Okay, but didn't she mention getting a call earlier? Couldn't she have...
Maybe it's rude. I don't know. I've never been talent scouted.
That's fair. But yeah, she is immediately already turning down the audition and is about to leave when the stage opens up.
What do you mean it opened?
It opens up.
The curtains, yeah?
I think... I feel like I don't remember it being curtains. I remember it being like there's a wall that just slides open. And there is alien ruins.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the ruins of the Moon Kingdom.
Does it? I didn't notice that. Okay. I feel like it is like a bunch of like Greek pillars and stuff. But they're all like green, so like I didn't...
That's fair.
I didn't clock them as... I can't remember what color the ruins were when we actually saw them in ruins.
They were probably white.
But yeah, there's a bunch of ruins, a very long, very big expanse of ruins that is open to space. There's just space above.
Well, I mean, it's a backdrop.
I don't think it is. I don't know what gave you the impression this was actually a set, because I wrote down Naru saying, "This set is amazing, specifically because this is not a set."
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure this is some more interdimensional fucking bullshit.
I don't think so.
Why would it... It's so big!
It's for a TV show.
Why is it a stage in a small room?
For a TV to record.
But it's... Okay, why is the stage so much bigger than just this small room that is attached to it that has chairs in it to watch?
Because this room is only for executives.
There is nothing to indicate this is a backdrop to me.
Okay.
Especially the more shit happens in this scene, or, well, in this area. But then on some pillars, Ale and An teleport in. And Ale says, "By all means, take a good look at everything, because it's going to be your last." And I think there's a commercial break there, maybe?
Yeah, Sailor Moon!
Sailor Moon!
R!
Yeah. And then when we come back, first of all, the girls have walked into the set. Like, pretty deep into the set, somehow, while we weren't paying attention, I guess. But I think Ale says some more bullshit that I didn't write down. And I believe...
I hope you wrote down the bullshit another character says later in the second episode.
Someone points out, "Hey, isn't this show just like a modern drama? Why is this set a fucking alien ruin?" And like, yeah, that's a fantastic question, I think.
Yeah, I guess there's like no reason for Ale and An to have built an alien ruin set.
Yeah.
But I also like have no reason to believe they have the power to just manifest something like this.
I mean, we don't know exactly how much time has taken place between things happening ever in this show.
True.
But yeah, then Ami is like to these two green people on top of pillars. Ami, the smart one,
she doesn't know about aliens.
Says that she has to leave to study. She can't be in a TV show. She reiterates this to Ale and On, I guess assuming they are in charge, and starts to leave. And then they summon Minotauron.
Uh-huh.
And she goes, Mino! Because it's a fucking Pokemon again.
I think all the Cardians might be Pokemon.
Okay.
I don't, want to... There might be one or two that aren't, but... Spoilers, we're 3 for 3.
Yeah. But yeah, Minotauron is here, and yells, and they're like, is that a special effect? And it's not.
No.
And, Ami, I will give credit to Ami here. She is the first one to realize that it is not a special effect.
Uh-huh.
And they all start running from Minotaur Lady. And then Ale talks about how much he loves the screams of young women.
He sure does. He sure does say that.
He sure does. Ale talks about how the screams are like art to him, like music. And On gets jealous of this for some reason.
Yeah.
And is like, I'm gonna go somewhere else and gather energy in my human form. And then she teleports away. And then we cut to Usagi and Luna, who are still in the TV studio, explicitly because they are lost. They rather conveniently have not been able to find their way out of the building. I do think Usagi compares it to a maze. Which yeah,
that's fun.
And then Natsumi shows up. On has switched into Natsumi mode and just walks out a nearby door, and they're like, "Hey," not like in a friendly way, but like,
No.
hey, you,
Natsumi, square up."
Tsukino.
They start fighting, basically.
Kinda, yeah. And then they see someone passes by carrying a bunch of shit.
Yeah, someone rushes by carrying a bunch of shit.
And I think he's like, excuse me. I think he's just like, coming through, because seeing him saying excuse me would be out of character, I feel, because it is Mamoru.
It's Mamoru Chiba.
And they're like, oh yeah! Or Usagi's like, hey, I remember now, he said he had a job now.
I didn't mention this earlier, Mamoru's Japanese voice actor.
Yeah.
Is Toru Furuya. Who is Yamcha in the Dragon Ball series.
Okay, I've heard of that name.
Amuro Ray, who is sort of the main character of the Gundam franchise.
Okay.
And Mewtwo in Detective Pikachu, the video game.
Oh, okay. And I think Natsumi and Usagi both start chasing after him. And meanwhile, Luna is also here. I don't know if I forgot to mention.
You did mention Luna.
Okay. Luna, Usagi just sort of leaves Luna in the hallway, and she senses an energy.
And she sees some pink smoke.
Yeah.
Coming from the audition room, and she peeks in. And sees the shit that's going on in there.
Yeah.
And is like, oh crap, hold on, I gotta go get Usagi. Or no, I think she goes into the audition room by herself.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. Yeah, Usagi will show up. Usagi will return in Avengers Endgame. God, can you imagine?
I don't want to.
You don't want to imagine Sailor Moon?
I'm just imagining, I'm just imagining Scarlett Johansson in a bad Sailor Moon wig.
She plays both Black Widow and Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Minotauron at this point drains Naru. Because fucking, of course, everybody take a drink. And the other...
It's astonishing that Naru's still alive.
Yeah,
She's really the most powerful being in Sailor Moon.
Yeah, for sure. But the not Sailor Guardians are like, hey, fuck this. And start trying to fight back against Minotauron. For example, with Rei exercising Minotauron. With the, well, actually, no, it's a different stock footage, right?
Is there stock footage of her?
I think there is, but it might not be stock footage technically because she's not wearing her Sailor Mars outfit. So it might just be built to look similar to the stock footage. But she does the thing, evil spirits be exorcised. And that sort of stuns Minotauron. And then Mako just grabs Minotauron by the forearm and fucking judo throws her into a pillar.
But Minotauron is fine.
Luna also points out, holy shit, they're fighting back without their sailor powers.
Yeah.
Which, again, I do love. I love that, first of all, Mako is just fucking strong.
Yeah, she's the strong.
And Rei is also just a fucking wizard.
Yeah.
Just, separate from being a sailor guardian. That is another fantastic element that is completely independent from her being a reincarnation of an alien warrior princess.
Also, after Minotauron picks herself back up, Rei says a very weird thing, which is...
Yes!
This is no ordinary monster!
So...
Which I guess could be an indication that some of her memories are coming back, but there's another thing later that she actually reacts to and is like, hey, wait, why did I say that?
Yeah.
But when she says this, she isn't like, hey, that was weird, why'd I say that?
Yeah. I love the idea that... Okay, hear me out. You remember how we decided, in part I decided, and also in part Naoko Takeuchi decided, which was that Minako has been a superhero before being Sailor Venus.
Yes.
I love the idea that independent from being a Sailor Guardian, Rei has just been Buffy the Vampire Slayer this entire time.
I mean, evil spirits are real.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I guess so.
Canonically, ghosts exist.
Yeah.
They didn't fight one that one time. That was not a real ghost, but...
Psychics are real.
Psychics are real. The vampire dad was real. He was a psychic, but he could also be a vampire.
Yeah.
Those monster people were real?
No, they were actors. Remember?
I don't know if we ever decided that was explicitly true.
Okay.
But yeah, and then we cut also in Natsumi running through the hallways trying to catch up with Mamoru and Usagi is exhausted and is running low on energy again. This girl just runs through energy.
Yeah.
And she goes into a dressing room and there is a scream.
And we see...
We see Mikan Shiratori. Who has been knocked unconscious by getting her energy drained. And Natsumi does explicitly say to her unconscious body, "Don't worry, you won't die. You'll be fine later." Which is interesting. Is that a thing she's concerned about?
I don't know.
Does
do
Natsumi and Ael have a thing against killing? Because it seems like they don't.
Yeah.
And then, I remember now. So, cutting back to the ruins. First of all, they're in, a different part of the ruins now.
Yeah.
One might say these ruins and their sort of ability or their difficulty in being navigated, is almost labyrinthine.
Yeah, one could say that.
Labyrinthine?
Labyrinthine. It's fine.
Labyrinth?
No, it's a Zelda thing.
But then Minotauron starts draining Naru. This is where she drains Naru. But Naru is saved by a cat.
Yeah.
Because Luna comes in and just scratches the hell out of Minotauron's face. And that distracts Minotauron. But Naru is unconscious. Don't worry, everybody take a drink. And Ael, who is still on that pillar, is like, a cat? Which I love. I just imagine being a fucking weird alien prince making a monster drain some teenage girls of energy, and then a fucking cat just shows up out of nowhere in this TV studio and scratches the fuck out of your monster. But yeah, they then at this point Luna to herself is like, I think she gets knocked away, actually. I think Monitoron sort of knocks her aside, and she sort of reluctantly resolves to get the other Guardians their powers back and their memories. And as she's thinking about that, Usagi is here and is like, what the fuck is going on in here?
Yeah. Usagi got lost looking for Mamoru.
And Luna is like, Usagi, thank God you're here. Transform. And Usagi's like, what? And Luna's just like, transform. And Usagi's like, okay. And Usagi transforms. And then we see, after the transformation sequence, cutting back to the girls running from Minatoron, one of them says, it's a dead end, as they run into, like, a collapsed over pillar. And what? It's a dead end? This was a straight line a few shots ago.
It's, one might describe this set as labyrinthine.
Yeah, I have to assume, they don't make this at all explicit. I have to assume that's Minatoron's power, is just getting people lost.
Maybe, yeah.
Because, that makes sense thematically, and although, again, the fact that they can get lost on this one stage set suggests to me that it's not really a stage set.
Fair. That's fair.
But then, from atop an archway above, as Minatoron is about to attack the former Sailor Guardians, we hear Sailor Moon saying, stop right there! I don't know what's really going on here. As a matter of fact, I am totally clueless. And Luna says, you're not supposed to tell them that. And Usagi says, but I can't forgive you for whatever you're doing, even though I don't know what it is. So in the name of the moon, I'll punish you. Which I really love.
Yeah,
It's like whenever you see a bunch of people online dunking on one person, but you don't know what fucking discourse happened or whatever, so you're just like, sure, fuck that guy, right? I guess. I don't know what happened, but I just want to be included.
Yeah,
and the other former Guardians are like, who's that? Which I guess tells us, again, people do not have memory of Sailor Moon.
Yeah,
and then they Sailor Moon and Minatoron start fighting, kind of. You know how this usually goes when Usagi fights someone. It's more like she's just running away a bunch.
Yeah.
And also, the other Sailor Guardians watching this are like, hey, does this seem familiar?
Hey. That's...
And then when Usagi has some distance on Minatoron, she says, I'm going to turn you back into a good girl. And she reaches for her moonstick, which she doesn't have.
Yeah.
And is like, shit, where's my moonstick? Oh, right. It got destroyed.
Remembers it getting destroyed in the fight with Queen Beryl. This is the last appearance of the moonstick in the show.
Just reminding us that it was utterly eviscerated. Also, I wonder what would even happen to Minatoron if she tried that. Because I don't think Minatoron used to be a person, as far as we know.
The moonstick was able to... Was it not able to, heal monsters that were never people to begin with, and they just kind of died?
That may have happened. I'm not sure. Sailor Moon has so many inconsistent abilities that it's hard to keep track of all of them. And then Usagi just starts running away from Minatoron again. I guess forgetting that she has a magic tiara.
Yeah.
And Rei is like, what's wrong with her? She's so useless. I guess it's up to me to handle this. Hold on, why did I just say that?
And Luna's like, oh, they're remembering.
Yeah.
Luna's really excited to see Rei berating Usagi.
And she says something as she is sort of moving towards the Sailor Guardians. And I think it's Minako who says, that cat's talking? And Ami is asks, I love... They established that the cat can talk, and Ami immediately asks the talking cat a question, saying, what's going on here? which I really love.
Uh-huh.
And then Luna says, "Well, the cat's out of the bag, so to speak." Tish.
Yep. Uh-huh. That's it. What a predicament.
God, she makes a lot of those, huh?
Yeah.
I guess if I was a cat, I would too.
Yeah.
If I could talk.
Right.
It would suck to be a cat who can't talk.
Yeah.
But being a cat who can talk, I think would be better than being a human.
Yeah, probably. I mean, no one's gonna here's the thing about being a cat.
Uh-huh.
Don't gotta pay for food.
Don't gotta pay for food.
You just go outside.
Would that change if everybody else knew you were sapient?
Maybe.
Would they charge you for food at that point?
Maybe.
Oh wait, no, hang on. You're just suggesting that I hunt.
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, damn it. That would be a negative side to being a cat, huh? I would have to be a carnivore.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a vegetarian in my human body, but I can't do that as a cat.
No, you'd get very sick. Anyway, Luna has
Luna ever just killed and ate a mouse?
Probably.
Just raw?
Probably, right?
What did they eat on the moon? Moon mice?
Moon carrots.
Again, that would make a cat very sick, although these are alien cats, so who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, Luna gives their memories back.
Yeah, Luna shoots a laser beam from her forehead.
Uh-huh. That it like projects the moon onto their forehead, and then the moon becomes whatever their symbol is.
Mm-hmm.
And they regain their memories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very cool and dramatic. And we can't really do it justice here, but you know. And then they all transform simultaneously, and that's also very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they immediately start fucking wailing on Minotauron.
Uh-huh.
Ami does a bubble spray. Sorry, Sailor Mercury now does a bubble spray. I said it with the tone of the fucking...
Sailor Mercury.
Yeah. Sailor Mars. Sailor Jupiter. All these powers that are new to her. She is Sailor Moon.
Pokemon Johto.
And yeah, so also Minotauron can stretch her horns.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
She like holds Usagi up and is draining her energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ami, sorry, I fucked it up again. Sailor Mercury does a bubble spray, and then we see Minako just jump up to grab Usagi and get her down. I think it was Minako anyway.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to tell because of the bubble spray. And then Mako hits Minotauron with a Supreme Thunder, and then Rei and Minako do a combined Crescent Beam and Fire Soul.
Yeah.
And it's very cool.
Uh-huh.
And they just wipe the fucking floor with Minotauron.
Uh-huh, they just destroy her.
And she is immediately like, cleansing! And becomes
a card.
And they're all excited.
Mm-hmm.
And Sailor Moon is grateful that they saved her. And also that they're back.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Ail and An appear.
And Ail is like, curses! We didn't know there were 5 Sailor Guardians. And An is like, we'll get you for this. And then they disappear.
Yeah.
Just like, whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's basically the end of that scene.
Yeah. We, cut immediately to the Hikawa Shrine.
Yes, where Ami is informing us that Mikan Shiratori collapsed from exhaustion. So the show was canceled.
Uh-huh.
What? I don't know much about television production.
I think what they're trying to get across is Mikan collapsed from exhaustion and someone was like, ah shit, she's this is way too much work for her.
Okay, that would make sense.
But the way Ami says it is nonsense.
Yes, I thought she collapsed from exhaustion, so they were just like, well, everybody pack it in. Even then, that suggests a faith in the television industry
Yeah.
that I feel like
Yeah.
is optimistic.
That's fair.
But yeah, Luna, everybody's at the Hikawa Shrine also, the whole Guardian crew. I think Artemis might not be there.
No, Artemis is there.
He is? Okay. Luna apologizes to the Sailor Guardians for having to bring them back because of Usagi's incompetence. But they're fine with it.
Yeah.
Mako has like a little speech about how their services are needed to save the world again because a new enemy has appeared. So they need to get back into the fight. And they're all determined to work hard. Except for Usagi, who is like, yeah, but I'd rather play. And then Luna's like, well, she didn't forget how to be a dork. Which is, again, a pretty funny line.
Yeah.
Just like, it's not a good joke, but it's a funny line for Luna to say. And then that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, basically. And so, the next episode...
Yeah.
The next episode is episode 49. For whom is the white rose? The moonlight night appears.
Yeah.
Which
I'm gonna I want to say, the title of this episode doesn't happen until, like, the climax of this episode.
Yeah. This episode was directed by Harume Kosaka, written by Sukahiro Tomita, with animation direction by Masahiro Ando, and it first aired March 20th, 1993 in Japan, and November 24th, 1995 in English.
Okay. So we open near a train.
Yeah.
I think it's night, it's evening.
It's like night. It's outside Ami's cram school.
Okay. And Usagi and Mako are there with Ami. And they are both sort of petitioning Ami to help them slash help them cheat on an upcoming test. A test they say is tomorrow.
Yeah.
For the record. I want to put that out there.
They sure do say that.
The test is tomorrow.
They sure do say that it's tomorrow.
They have a big math test tomorrow, and Ami chides them for not studying, and also says that she can't just give them the answers, because then they'll never understand it, and that'll just hurt them later in life. And then they hear someone calling for help, I think.
They hear a boy calling for help.
And they go to the noise. And they see a boy who is being attacked.
A boy in like a school uniform, in like a high school uniform, I think.
Who is being attacked by a pink lion woman.
Rose Quartz's lion is here.
And the lion, this goes so quickly into everything. Like, so much shit happens in this one scene at once. There's a lion, there's a glowy wheel thing next to the lion, in the air. And the lion is attacking a guy, and the lion is going, I think, feline? Feline is the name of this creature.
Yeah.
And then Mako runs up to help, and she recognizes the boy as Kenji, and she is like, hey.
And the boy is like, Mako?
And the lion dives at them, and the Kenji pushes Mako out of the way to protect her.
And then he goes tumbling off of a fucking embankment.
Yeah.
And just smashes into the ground. And we see him laying on, like, the pavement, bleeding from his head.
Yes. And Mako doesn't see that yet because she's still concerned about the lion.
Yeah.
She did not tumble down. And she's sort of standing there. I think she does kung fu. Is that what she does?
Yeah, she does kung fu.
She does a pose, a kung fu stance at the lion, and then the lion just fucks off into the wheel thing, and the wheel disappears. And then we see she checks on Kenji, and he is bleeding, and she rushes down to pick him up, and he is bleeding out of his head. And the screen starts flashing in, like, monochrome red.
And we hear ambulance sirens.
Yeah, and we see them, like, helping rush Kenji to the three of the Sailor Guardians here helping rush Kenji to the hospital, and like at the hospital, and the doctor is like, they need to give Kenji a blood transfusion,
but they don't have type O.
They don't have type O, but then Mako is like, oh, I'm type O. Use my blood, and they're like, okay, and they start doing that, and we see Mako laying down, and all of this happens.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, no, for sure, it's very well done. It's just a lot all happening at once.
Yeah. But we do slow down quickly.
Yeah. There is a cut, though, to somewhere else first. We cut after this. We've established that Mako is giving blood to whoever the fuck Kenji is. She's also very impassioned about giving her blood to save Kenji. Then we cut and we see the Makai tree, where Ale is siphoning energy from the lion thing. Falion.
Yeah.
And I believe it turns back into a card when he's done with it. It doesn't turn to dust or anything.
No.
Like the others when they get defeated.
It returns to its Pokeball.
Right. And we see the card has Falion on it and also a little wheel. And Ale says, the spinning wheel doles out happiness and misfortune, and no one can avoid the fate they were dealt. Which, I don't know why you said that, but okay, cool. Also, I guess this is the Wheel of Fortune tarot card.
Fortune.
I
don't know. None of the other two Cardians weren't tarot themed. No. There's clearly these are tarot cards.
Right. There's a thing about telling the future and their cards and...
But Minotauron and Vampira, or Vampire, weren't tarot, but now we're Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
What?
Except also the Wheel of Fortune with a lion on it.
Yeah.
Maybe the lion might be another Greek mythology thing?
Maybe.
Like the fucking
I know what you're thinking of.
The Nemean lion.
Yes, yeah.
Or also considering it is a lady lion with somewhat defined breasts. Again, not like naked or well, no. I mean covered in fur.
Covered in fur.
No clothes.
Right.
Could also be a sphinx.
Anyway,
we tarot now, I guess.
Yeah.
And then On shows up, and they have a back and forth or something that I didn't write down every line on, but I did write down. I think On has been like basking in the energy they've gotten.
Yes.
Which I guess they got from Kenji?
I think it seems like Falion has been gathering energy from people.
Okay.
And just happened to run into the Sailor Guardians while trying to get Kenji's energy.
Again, all of these monsters so far have been like they have the same MO, basically.
Yeah.
Unless we assume again that Minotauron has the power to make people get lost. All the monsters are just big and strong and just chase people and yell.
Yeah. It's a much more, like, Super Sentai approach to these monsters than you've seen.
Mm-hmm. This kind of thing comes up occasionally.
Yeah.
Like, with the Dark Kingdom monsters. Like, there are monsters like that for the Dark Kingdom, but they're usually still part of some grander scheme.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ale is like, we can't just relax. The ones who call themselves the Pretty Guardians, those lovely girls. And On is like, wait, lovely? And Ale is like, we must be cautious as 5 frightening enemies have appeared. Which, these are the straightest fucking aliens.
So heterosexual.
That's such a line. That's such a fucking 90s sitcom-ass married couple line.
Mm-hmm. I have some stuff to say about this, but I'm gonna save it for later.
This sequence of lines, or just this scene?
It, like this combined with some other stuff about Ale and On.
Okay. And then they talk more to each other about like everybody on the planet is the enemies except us. We're all we have for each other. And then they do a smooch. And Ale does. I just wanted to write down verbatim that Ale does say Earthlings.
Does he?
He does at one point say Earthlings.
All right, good. I'm sure that's a thing the dub added.
Probably.
But,
I love that they sometimes say humans and sometimes say earthlings.
I mean, you gotta match the mouth flaps.
You gotta match them. Yeah. And then we cut. We cut back to. Hey, hang on? Sorry. Did Zoisite and Malachite?
Yeah.
Zoisite and Kunzite.
Yes.
Did Zoisite and Kunzite ever get to kiss on screen?
No.
No? Okay. Anyway, hospital room. Back in the hospital room, we see Mako lying on a bed next to Kenji, also lying on a bed, unconscious. And
her blood is being,
yeah,
transfused.
And also Ami and Usagi are there, of course. And are there giving supportive words to Mako.
Usagi offers to,
yes,
because she's type O too, to also give blood.
I love
Mako gets tired.
I love that they remembered Usagi was type O.
Yeah, I also love that Usagi just offers that.
Yeah, and Mako insists that she's fine with this, and she tells them to go and study for the test and not worry about her. But Ami is like, I've studied the whole week, and Usagi is like, I don't care.
Well, Usagi, I think, rightly points out that cramming this late won't help anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it won't.
That's true. But they're resolved to stay with Mako and help her out.
And they ask Mako how she knows Kenji. And we get a flashback.
Yeah,
as Mako explains
to specifically a time she describes as when Kenji helped her out after a really bad breakup.
And it's it's basically a silent flashback except for a song.
Yes.
Which is I didn't write down the name of it.
Oh.
Mako's image song from season 1.
Oh, I didn't realize we.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if there were lyrics. Were there lyrics
in this one? Yes.
Okay.
In this, yes. I don't remember this song at all from season 1. When does this play in season 1? Do you remember?
It might play in the ice skating episode at some point.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the right before it goes silent as she sees another guy and then chases after him, right?
I think so. It does play in season 1 at some point though. But yeah, we see her. It's raining. She's in a gazebo with a boy. And the boy says something to her. Is clearly breaking up with her as she is confused.
Yes. It seems like they may have even been on a date.
Yeah.
They're just because she was really happy at the start.
Yeah. And he runs off and she chases after him, but then stops
and is crying. And then she's just standing there in the rain, and then an umbrella appears over her.
And it's Kenji.
Yeah.
And after hearing this story, Usagi and Ami are like, wow. So is Kenji Usagi's so is Kenji your boyfriend?
Yeah. I think she specifically goes, does that mean you're in love?
And Mako is like, no. He's something more important than a boyfriend.
Yeah. She adds something very special. And I also like that. I do like that. I mean, first of all, that's just very sweet. That's a very cute character dynamic to have, and also very important to depict on this show.
Yeah.
This is our first actual friendship between a male and female character, really. Because even Artemis fucking flirts with Luna, and Umino is nobody's friend. And
I guess Motoki, but no.
Hey, yeah. I mean, where is Motoki? We haven't seen Motoki this whole season.
Usagi had a crush on Motoki, obviously, but now he's just kind of the dude who runs the arcade. Yeah, and is sometimes kind of a big brother, a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess everyone, all the other Guardians, will maybe eventually be friends with Mamoru.
Yeah, true. We don't get. I would love to see more interaction between the other Guardians and Mamoru. I guess we get I don't even know if there's really a moment where we establish Rei and Mamoru being just friends.
Yeah, we have not. Yeah, we haven't really had a chance for it yet.
No, we haven't, because everything kind of got real wild at the end of the last season. But yeah, hopefully that'll... I would like that kind of stuff to come up. But yeah, I just like that there's like a male and female just platonic friendship here.
Like really powerful platonic friendship.
Yeah. And also, the thing I was laughing about that line is that I love that Mako has had so many boyfriends that she explicitly says that her friendship is more special than any boyfriend could possibly be to her.
Yeah.
Like, that's very good. Because, like, boyfriends aren't special. She's had, like, 50 of them. Like...
And then we, like... As Mako is like, he's more important than that. We cut to Usagi in her room drawing something.
Yes.
And she's like, I think Mamo's like that to me.
Mamo?
Sorry, Mamoru. Mamo's later. Don't worry about it.
Wait, sorry? Mamo is a character?
No, I mean, Mamo is Mamoru.
Someone calls Mamoru Mamo?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get to it. Mamoru's like that to me too.
Yeah, which he's not.
No, Usagi. I mean, he's very important to you in a romantic way, but that's not the same thing.
I would love for it to not be that way, but
yeah.
And then Luna is like, "Hey, I don't want to interrupt your studying because I know you got that big test, but we need to talk about the fucking monsters and everything. We're gonna have a meeting tomorrow at Hikawa Shrine," and then Luna notices that Usagi is not studying; she is doodling.
No, she's drawing.
We see a crayon drawn picture of pretty well done for the record, but but done in crayon. A picture of her or of Princess Serenity and Endymion.
Yeah,
looking at each other, and there's little hearts, and it's and Luna is distraught. And then we cut to the morning. Where at Hikawa Shrine, where everybody except Usagi is here, and Luna. They're talking about what we know about the enemy so far.
Actually, I think it's afternoon because it
Okay.
It gets darker as this scene goes on.
Right, that's true. And they're talking about Luna points out that the enemy is after the life energy of humans. Of course
they are.
Artemis points out that it can't be the Dark Kingdom because they were destroyed. And also, Rei points out that their aura is totally different, which I love. Again, the aura thing is just her wizard powers,
that's just
right?
Real.
That's not
what's Shrine Maiden.
Her Shrine Maiden powers.
I mean, being I don't want to say whether or not real Shrine Maidens in real life have these magic powers or not.
Right.
But
is that a belief that people hold, or
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, the paper Rei uses when she's exercising spirits, that's real.
Right.
That's a real thing you can get at Shinto shrines.
Right.
That's supposed to keep evil auras away.
Okay. And I guess reading people's auras is just a thing that people, a lot of people, regardless of religion, at least claim to be able to do. And I'm not saying, when I say claim, I don't mean if you believe you feel something like that, then sure.
Yeah, I just wanted wizard is I don't think you intend it to be, but it sounds a little dismissive.
Right? Yeah, that's fair. I legit thought that this was not. I didn't realize that it would be a real an aspect of the religious thing. Okay. But yeah, I just love that, again, that's not anything she gets from being a Sailor Guardian. She just has that.
Ami figures out, hey, you remember that meteorite?
Yeah.
Maybe that's related to this. You remember that nasty bean?
Well, no one saw the nasty bean, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But... They just saw the crater.
What if Nasty Bean is Alanon species?
Mako, meanwhile, is just I don't care what's going on, I'm gonna rip them apart.
She shows up and just fucking bangs on the side of the shrine.
Yeah.
I think she's crouching a bit to tell us, hey, she's probably still a little tired after giving a lot of her blood. And Rei is like, that sounds good, but please don't destroy my place. And then everybody I think Ami checks up on Mako and is like, hey, you okay?
Mm-hmm.
You alright to do this? And Mako is like, yeah, fuck them. They hurt my fucking friend. And then Luna is like, where the fuck is Usagi? I told her we had a meeting.
Meanwhile...
well, first of all, Minako is like, oh, well, there's this big test she might be studying. No, she's not doing that.
Meanwhile,
Usagi
is late.
Usagi is late. She is, I guess, running towards the shrine. Yeah, she's running to the shrine. And is complaining that she didn't set a fucking reminder on her clock, I guess? Did she say on her... She doesn't say on her phone.
On her watch? I mean, phones didn't exist.
Oh, wait, she could... Maybe... I wonder if she could set a reminder on her little thing on the communicator.
Yeah, maybe.
Do they even have the communicators again? We haven't seen them get used.
Huh.
And, Luna could just call up Usagi.
Yeah. Maybe they don't have them. Anyway. She runs into Mamoru.
Yeah, she sees Natsumi and Mamoru, specifically. Natsumi is already sort of petitioning Mamoru. And is like, I know a nice disco around here. Would you like to go with me? And Mamoru's like, that's an odd offer. Disco died decades ago.
Yeah.
And then Natsumi is like, well, then let's go do karaoke. Which I know that's how some people pronounce it, but...
That's how Japanese people pronounce it.
Yeah.
Karaoke.
Well, okay, that's not karaoke, though. That's different.
I think she says karaoke.
I think she says karaoke.
Okay.
Okie.
Fuck you.
Usagi's not... Sorry, I just want to... The thing that gets me is karaoke.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's a thing some Americans say.
Oh my god.
That's a thing. It comes up a lot on Mystery Science Theater 3000. They say karaoke a lot.
The modern version?
The original version, but presumably also the modern version.
Okay. Right, because it's still a lot of the same actors for the robots, right?
Actually, I think at least one of the robots is a different actor.
Oh, really?
Actually, at least two of the three. But there's also the other main one, Crow, the gold one.
Is he the same? He's the same one?
He might be. I'm honestly not sure.
Okay.
I know Tom Servo is different, and I know the one that's a racial slur is different. Anyway, welcome to our Mystery Science 3000 Watchcast. That would be the worst show.
That would be awful.
A podcast talking about a television show talking about movies.
Yeah. Usagi's not into this. Usagi's not into what Natsumi is doing.
No. And sort of charges forth and pushes Natsumi out of the way and tries to get Mamoru to remember who she was and is begging him to remember. And then, in case, because she probably assumed this would not just work just asking him to remember, because she tried that before. Don't worry, she has slides.
She has a slideshow. This is what she was drawing.
Yes. She has a series of images of telling the story of Princess Serenity and Prince Endymion. And it's very cute.
It's very cute.
And Natsumi interrupts the ending to say that sounds far-fetched. And then...
And they fight.
They fight a little, and Natsumi turns to be like, isn't that stupid, Mamoru? And then Mamoru is gone. Mamoru has left. And I believe Natsumi chases after him. And Usagi is just kind of sad that didn't work, and she can't get his memories back.
And then a rose appears.
A rose appears.
Accompanied with, castanets.
I didn't even notice the castanets. And Usagi's like, could it be? It's not, because you just saw him leave.
Yeah.
We pan across the rose to see that it is being held in someone's hand. It has not been thrown into a surface. It is being held in someone's hand along with a bouquet of other roses.
And Seijiro is here.
Seijiro, aka Ale, in case, because we haven't said his human name often.
He confesses his love to Usagi.
Yes. Very dramatically and explicitly, saying he's in love with Usagi, a girl he met once a few weeks ago.
And Usagi is immediately taken by this.
Yeah, she's very she's
Which
intrigued.
is fucking weird to me because every frame of Seijiro in this sequence is the ugliest frame of a man I've ever seen. And
listen, Usagi, she's a romantic at heart.
Yeah.
She's like
Usagi drops one of her slides and is immediately broken from the spell and is like,
Yes.
No,
No,
actually, I gotta go.
She's like, oh wait, I have a boy or had a boyfriend, will have a boyfriend in the future, have a amnesiac boyfriend. Gotta go. Bye.
And Seijiro says something creepy.
Yeah, I did write down this verbatim.
Okay.
Which is, the more she turns me away, the more intensely I will try. Usagi, before you know it, you'll be all mine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I hate him.
He sucks. They both suck. I hate these fucking aliens.
Yeah. An's just tired. An's just tired and she saw a hot boy.
Okay, they're both cheating on each other independently.
I know.
And also, I still don't know why An is so much more tired than Ale.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, young girls have more energy, which means they need more energy.
I guess so.
I think do we cut immediately to Usagi arriving?
Yeah, Usagi arrives at... Or no, we don't yet.
Okay.
Because first we see inside Hikawa Shrine.
Right.
We see Rei chanting into a fire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what any of the things she says mean, so I didn't really write them down. But
yeah, she's reading the flames.
Right. Is it Japanese?
She is chanting in Japanese. Yes.
Okay. That's... I guess it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't dub that, but...
Yeah, because there's no real, how do you dub that?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
She also does, when she does the evil spirit be exorcised, that's also Japanese. That
right.
isn't dubbed.
True. Until it becomes evil spirits be exorcised.
Right, yeah.
And then they see, in the fire, they see the monster.
Uh-huh.
It's a fucking lion.
Yeah.
And I think it growls.
But that's enough info for them to be like, I know where it is.
Yeah. Which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ami mentions it uses dark places to spring from for the element of surprise. And they rush on out. And then we see Usagi arrive, I think panting, at Hikawa Shrine.
It's sunset now.
The others are leaving already.
Mm-hmm.
And they're already transformed.
Yeah. And
Usagi is like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And Ami is like, oh good, Usagi, you're here. We transform, we have to go. And Usagi is like, Kay, can anyone tell me what the fuck is going on first? And Rei yells, transform, blockhead, get with it or we're leaving without you. And Usagi's like, okay, moon prism power makeup.
And she transforms.
Uh-huh. And yeah, she is transformed and she goes with the others.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way, Jupiter starts sort of collapsing.
Yeah.
Sort of stumbling, has to lean onto a build or a lamppost or something, I think. And Usagi is concerned.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly the problem she was talking about earlier. She was worried about Mako getting anemic. And she's like, hey, you don't have to do this. You can go home. We can take care of this.
Is very also if you keep going, you might die.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she starts tearing up eventually as she's trying to promise that she will take care of this monster for her and Kenji. Because she Mako is very clear that she is doing this because she can't abide anybody hurting her friend. But yeah, Usagi is starting to cry, worrying that Mako might die if she gets too tired during the fight. And it's very upsetting.
Yeah.
But Mako Mako says she really appreciates that,
Mhm.
but she needs to do this for Kenji. But Usagi makes her promise not to overdo it. And yeah, it's night now.
It's nighttime.
It's nighttime now. We cut to a park.
Yeah.
Probably the one.
I think it is the same park where the lion attacked Kenji. It looks very similar to me.
Wait, was that a park? I thought that was a...
Well, it was like a,
it was near the train station.
Yeah.
And near the,
It was like a public area.
Yeah. And then... so the lion is here.
Mhm.
Falion. God, I hate that name also.
It's bad.
It's like a fucking... the first fan-made Pokemon someone ever designed when they were like 7. The Falion is attacking a couple in the park, but it is distracted. She Falion.
Let's go with she or Falion.
Yeah, she is distracted by some yelling, which I believe gives the couple time to run away.
Yeah,
I assume at least. I don't know if we see them run away, but we don't see them ever again in this scene. So
yeah.
I'm gonna assume they're fine. And Sailor Jupiter has run ahead and is yelling, "Hold it, monster! My friends and I are cramming as hard as we can for tomorrow's big test. Interfering with that is unforgivable." And then Ami is like, "Whoa, Sailor Jupiter?"
Hey, remember how it's been a full day?
Yeah, hey,
They're still cramming for that test that was tomorrow.
That was
today?
Tomorrow today.
That's weird.
Yeah. Maybe some mouth flaps didn't...
No.
They couldn't have fit day after tomorrow in there. Unfortunately, English doesn't have just a word for that, even though a lot of languages do.
Yeah, true. I don't know if Japanese does.
And then they fight, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Sailor Jupiter tries to fight.
She uses Supreme Thunder.
Yeah. And it's the Falion no-sells it.
Yeah.
She yells. She just does a roar, and it stops the Supreme Thunder, I guess.
Yeah.
And also knocks again, very anemic Jupiter to the ground. And then the other Guardians try to fight it. Mars tries to exorcise it. And again, she just cuts up the paper. Don't worry, Falion has a plan for exorcism. The paper just won't be there. Then I think Mercury and Ami both try to fight it, and...
Now, wait a second.
Huh?
Mercury and Ami?
Oh, wait, hang on. Venus and Mercury both try to fight it, and then... I'm not going to correct myself every time I say it, because this is going to be
It's fine.
This is going to be a 2-hour podcast.
You said that right as we got to 2 hours. It won't be that in the finished episode, but...
And they just get knocked aside by more roaring. So I guess it has roar powers.
Yeah.
Falion has roar powers.
Yeah.
Also, the wheel is here. I don't know if I...
Yeah, the wheel is in the sky.
Yeah. I don't know if it's in the sky. It's in the air. It's
okay, sure.
It's not super high up.
But yeah, Falion very strong.
Yeah. And then Usagi shows up. Because I guess she was kind of lagging behind. Which makes some sense.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Everybody has been knocked the fuck out." And she says, "How dare you attack innocent people without any explanation? I am Sailor Moon, and now in the name of the moon, I'll punish you." Not a big speech, but you know. There's a lot of the speech burden is carried by Jupiter in this episode, considering her opening thing. I was really hoping she would say, "Now in the name of Jupiter, I'll punish you."
Yeah. I'll fill you with so much regret, it'll leave you numb.
I forgot that, and I forgot that it's a fucking pun. But yeah, then Usagi tries to fight Falion, and it doesn't go well.
No.
Falion is about to fucking pounce on Usagi. But then...
Yeah.
Falion is stopped.
Is stopped.
And Usagi is saved by a white rose.
A white rose.
And Usagi looks up and standing in a tree.
So I kind of want to just insert the audio clip of this into the episode, but
Okay.
it's a little awkward how it ends. Like the music gets cut off in a weird way.
Okay.
So we might not be able to.
Uh-huh.
So we are going to read it just in case.
Yes. So you might either hear this line or hear us saying this line.
Yeah.
Which is, "Tonight's moon is perfect to express one's love. Despicable monsters do not suit an evening such as this."
And in standing on a tree branch.
Yes.
Is how do we even begin to describe?
So it's a man.
Uh-huh.
A tall, roughly probably 17 years old individual. Standing on a high place.
Uh-huh.
Wearing a mask, but
how
it's a different sort of mask than you might be imagining. It's sort of a it covers the bottom of his face.
Yeah.
It's a white cloth, really.
You're really burying the lead here.
Okay, so he's dressed. Okay, here's the only way I can think to describe this.
Mm-hmm.
He is dressed.
Don't say Aladdin.
You have far too little faith in me. He is dressed like he is an explorer in an old pulp movie going to the Middle East.
Mm.
Because he doesn't look Middle Eastern.
No.
But he's got I don't know what those are called, the thing he's wearing over his head.
Yeah, it's
the thing, I think it's to protect you from the sun.
Yes, yeah, uh-huh.
And he's got a cloth over his face, and he's got a long white, again, I don't know the name of this I mean, he's got a cape over, he's got like a white cape over an outfit that I just don't know the name of.
Uh-huh.
But
his whole outfit is white, also notably.
And very clearly, like, Middle Eastern inspired.
Yeah.
And Usagi says, "Who are you?" But it's clear already that she has a suspicion. And he says,
She sees the rose and is like, could it be?
He says, "I am known as the Moonlight Knight." Can I ask who the Moonlight Knight's voice actor is?
Oh, the Moonlight Knight's voice actor, his English voice actor is Robbie Damon.
Okay.
Who we've talked about. He plays Mamoru.
Hey, yeah.
His Japanese voice actor is Toru Furuya.
Yeah.
Who also plays Mamoru.
Yeah, huh.
They kind of doubled up on the voice actors, I think. I guess, like, they doubled up on Toru, so the dub was like, well, we may as well get Robbie to also voice both these characters.
Right. And then the Moonlight Knight says, "The wheel of misfortune stops now," and draws a scimitar.
I don't know if it's a scimitar, but it is a curved dagger or short sword of some kind.
Yes. And he throws it at the wheel in the air, and it breaks. And that hurts the lion.
Uh-huh. The lion collapses to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Usagi is grateful
that
the Moonlight Knight has saved her. And the Moonlight Knight says, "Sailor Moon, when the time is right, we will be able to talk. I look forward to that day. Adieu." And he disappears. And Usagi says, "Oh, Moonlight Knight." And I do want to, okay, if we can step outside the bit. So, we should probably believe this is Mamoru.
Yeah.
And Usagi clearly believes this is Mamoru.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is also important. There is a bit where there's an imagined spot sort of between Usagi and Mamoru as they're talking, where they're also in, like, a desert at night.
Yeah.
There's, like, some sand dunes behind them.
It's so weird.
It's very weird. But I do also love that Usagi does not superhero dead name. Like, she is pretty certain of who this is, but still uses the name he has given her, which is very very good, very respectful.
Yeah. Moonlight Knight.
The Moonlight Knight.
Oh boy.
I do hate that he stole her moon theme.
Yeah.
He fucking jacked her moon aesthetic.
I also hate that he's appropriating a culture that's not his own.
Yeah, also that.
I forgot to write this down. I will make sure to get it for the next episode, but the Moonlight Knight is inspired by like one of the first like live action Japanese TV superheroes.
Oh, really?
Who is also played by a man whose surname is Chiba.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cute, actually.
I will get that actor's full name and the name of the character for the next episode.
Okay. I love. Also, he's not just throwing roses no more. He's also throwing scimitars.
Throwing swords.
Anyway, Sailor Moon is sort of just standing in awe for a second and does not realize that Felion has woken up behind her and pounces on her.
Yeah, the Moonlight Knight was like, my job here is done. But he didn't actually do much.
No. Maybe he didn't expect Sailor Moon to not, turn around and immediately deal with a monster.
That's fair.
That's a fair expectation.
Yeah.
She's not an established superhero in this timeline, but he does know who she is.
Yeah.
Which has, that has vexed us before, and I have a suspicion it will vex us again. But yeah, she is pounced by Felion.
Felion is like straddling her on the ground.
And with claws out, and seems pretty ready to kill her. And then Jupiter wakes up.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned that she fucking fainted earlier, but she super did.
Jupiter stands up and sees
this fucking lion, this goddamn lion, hurting another one of the most important friends in her life. And she says, Sailor Moon, Kenji, it's unforgivable. What you have done is unforgivable. Jupiter, my guardian planet, bring forth the storm, summon the clouds, and bring down your thunder. And Supreme thunders. Felion.
And just destroys it.
Just destroys her. Cleansing! She's like, she's got a growly voice. She's like, cleansing! She's a card now.
Yeah, and then she's dust.
And then she's dust. She's dead now. Did they die?
I don't know.
Are they alive?
I don't know.
Anyway. But yeah. Jupiter saves Usagi. And Felion is defeated. And then we cut. Later at the hospital. Yeah. Where we see
Kenji leaving with his parents, presumably?
Yeah, probably. And the Sailor Guardians are watching from the sidelines, or at least a couple of them, I think.
It's just Usagi, Ami, and Mako.
Okay. And Usagi is like, hey, to Mako says, it's like, hey, don't you want to, like, say hi or talk to him about stuff? And Mako says, Kenji has always watched over me from a distance, so I'll do the same for him today. Which I don't know what that fucking means, but, I mean, it's thematic. It's certainly thematic. Like, tying in your A plots and your B plots. Yeah. But also, I don't know what the fuck that means in this context. It's possible she doesn't want Kenji to know that she helped him. Right. Because, like, she doesn't want it to be a big deal.
I think then it's Usagi's bedroom.
Yes.
Again. That she's just sort of thinking.
Yeah, she's contemplating. She says, can a boy and a girl have a friendship that's more powerful than romantic love?
Yes.
Yes. But also, I'm glad the show is asking that question. That's cool. Yeah. And she has a thought about, like, she's thinking about, like, what is the Moonlight Knight really him?
Is it Mamoru?
Like, how could that be, though?
What's going on? He doesn't remember.
Yeah. And she just sort of wistfully stares out her window, and then Luna shoves a math book into her face and is like, hey, Usagi, hey, you remember that big math test tomorrow? Can you solve...
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
It's again been another day.
I didn't even think about that. Shit. Oh, man. But yeah, she is like, hey, can you solve this problem? Hey. And she is showing her a problem that looks like fucking college algebra to me.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know what they learn in Japanese middle schools, or middle schools for that matter.
Yeah.
And and Usagi says that math test is going to be even harder than figuring out how boys and girls relate to each other. And then the episode, there's a what's that called? The when the screen sort of circles in.
I don't know. I don't know
fade.
what it's called.
It's got a rabbit face on it.
It's got a rabbit face, and that's the end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode.
VR.
Next time, VR. We're taking this podcast into the next generation of video gaming.
To virtual reality.
We're gonna move our arms really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And hit stuff in our rooms. And we're gonna look like complete fucking morons.
Mm-hmm. Mamoru's there, Seijiro's there, everyone's
there at the VR fucking
Shingo's
facility.
there.
Shingo's there, he's getting suited up in his VR armor, or V-armor if you will.
Next time, though.
It's like a VR laser tag place, which is not a bad idea, to be fair. I mean...
AR. You want augmented reality laser tag, I think.
VR laser tag would be nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a VR first-person shooter.
But that's those episodes for this week.
Yeah.
So we've gotten some more stuff.
Yes. So the Sailor Guardians are back. We got them all.
I do wish there was more time spent on that. Like, it just happens
at least another episode.
It happens in one episode, and like there isn't enough time for all of them to have the same like emotional reaction that Usagi has.
Yeah.
Granted, like the way this arc is structured, it would be rough to have to like have like 5 episodes getting each individual Sailor Guardian her memories back, while also like establishing what's going on with Ailenon.
Yeah, and also whatever the Moonlight Night.
So I understand why they went that route. I just
it even would have been nice to at least have like an episode showing all of them having normal lives, and then an episode showing them all sort of having some kind of reaction to being like, because
if Usagi had to save them and they didn't get their memories back in that episode, that would be cool.
It even would have been kind of cool, like, not to like be super because we don't usually go super speculative about like alternate routes the show could have taken in this podcast, but like sometimes I think that's fun. And I think like here it would have been interesting to have like, there's so many elements regarding the like wanting to preserve their normal lives, like on their behalfs, and Usagi specifically not wanting to bother them, basically, like wanting if which is very mature of her to like want to like, because she feels shitty having to do this again, but she doesn't want anyone else to have to go through that. It would have been interesting if their sort of thing, like their reason for coming back, had nothing to do with Usagi, or if like Usagi was busy doing something else, like if they were all somewhere that Usagi wasn't, like it's not that they have to like save Usagi, or Usagi isn't competent enough to do this on her own, which is still like fair, like that's not a bad narrative, but it like would have been interesting if like Usagi is not here. Luna cannot get her here fast enough, and in order to, like, even just to save the Guardians themselves, has to give them their memories back.
Right.
Or else they will die.
Yeah.
Because that would be interesting, too, if, like, the sacrifice wasn't, like, their normal lives. It was, like, literally, they are going to die. If they are going to lose any life they could possibly have if they don't become superheroes again.
Right. Yeah, I think that would have been, I think how it goes is fine.
Yes,
but...
and there's also nothing wrong with, I hate that it's framed at the end of the episode as making fun of Usagi.
Yeah.
But there's nothing inherently wrong with the concept of Usagi can't do this alone.
Right, like Usagi is one 14-year-old girl.
Yes. Who also isn't even a reincarnation of a warrior princess. She's just a reincarnation of a princess.
Yeah.
Just a regular one from space, but
and
still.
I don't like if it was just Mina, maybe she could do it. I don't know if any of them could do it alone.
No, yeah.
It's not just Usagi.
Yeah. And I wish that had been emphasized a little more. Like, it's a little annoying that it's framed at Usagi's expense.
Mm-hmm.
I get increasingly, like, Usagi is funny. Mm-hmm. Like, Usagi is a character who does funny stuff and is silly and incompetent sometimes, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fine for the show to play that stuff for laughs. I get tired of it being all she gets sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, she just gets, like, romantic pining and getting made fun of by the narrative and the other characters, and that's tiring. Yeah. Like, I wish there were, like, because there's so many moments of, like, hey...
Even in these episodes, there are so many moments of Usagi, like, showing her character development from the last season. Like, I don't think the Usagi from the first episode of the first season would have offered to give her blood for Kenji.
Yeah. Or even offered to, like, shoulder the extra weight against Falion to make sure that Jupiter doesn't, like, fucking
Usagi
faint.
Specifically being worried that Jupiter might die is maybe not intentionally, but can very easily be read as, like, she's seen Jupiter die before.
Yes. And also, again, she is, like, this is all, like, the fact that... Let me take a second to phrase this properly. The whole reason for the reset at the end of last season was Sailor Moon feeling terrible that her friends have died.
Yeah.
And not wanting to deal with this anymore and wishing that everything could go back to the way it was. And now that has been taken away from her.
Right.
So now this kind of shit is probably fresh in her mind of, like, hey, everybody's in danger again. My friends and myself are in danger again, and I do not want anyone to die again. And that's, first of all, fucking rough. But also, like, yeah, it's a... Those moments are really good. I wish the narrative spent more time on them, and I wish that, like...
You could have the Usagi who is silly and goofy and, like, doesn't know how to do math and tries to get Ami to help her cheat without, like, having Luna and Artemis be the fucking Staltler and Waldorf.
Staltler?
I don't fucking know their names. Statler?
Statler
and Waldorf making fun of her on the sidelines. I mean, Ray can make fun of her because that's their dynamic.
And my favorite thing is when Luna is defensive of Usagi, and I don't know if we've got much of that this season so far.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wish we didn't have to end every fucking episode on a joke like that. I wish there were times when we could just let Usagi's internal conflict and, like, problems just sit. Just like, let them be there and not necessarily address this episode, but, like let the concern linger.
The first episode ended that way. The first episode of this season
ended for sure.
with just Usagi looking off into the moonlight. So, like, it's not like the show has gotten completely away from that as a possibility.
I think it's just these last two episodes. Yeah. So it's possible that might change in some future episodes. Excuse me. It also probably doesn't help that these are still part of the episodic. Well, I guess the second one is more... actually, no, they're both very episodic episodes, which is a weird phrase to say, but, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, they're both very just, like, Monster of the Week plot episodes that have some extra bullshit layered on top of them.
Yeah.
Like, they don't feel like... Like, that second episode doesn't feel like it's the second part of a two-parter with the first episode or anything.
Right.
The third episode doesn't... Like, the third episode is... I was thinking about this when I was thinking about A plots and B plots tying together. The, like, Mako and Kenji are the A plot of that episode.
Yeah,
like Usagi and Mamoru and whatever is going on with the Moonlight Knight, like that's a big arc thing,
right?
But that is not the main plot of that episode. It
No.
is very much a side plot to the episode, which is interesting to me.
Yeah,
like it's kind of neat.
Like I think there's a lot of value in adding those arc elements to these more episodic.
Yeah.
These Monster of the Week episodes.
Right. I like it. I do wonder if that affects the tone.
Yeah.
Of the episodes, because again, tone can be. I'm beginning to realize tone can maybe be a little weird on this show.
Yeah.
Especially as we start dealing with again, from the first episode of this season, fishing up the concept of, again, being a superhero as a teenager kind of fucking sucks. And as we fish that concept up again, and then keep having things that play it for laughs and play Usagi's failures at being a superhero for laughs, it starts getting a little weird for me.
Yeah.
It's weird when you play the themes of the show for laughs.
Yeah.
You know?
At a certain point, that's kind of just the nature of what this is, and you have to either accept it or not.
Yeah. I hope it gets better, I think. Because I think, because it can. I feel like you can, there's a balance you can strike there that isn't...
I may be biased. I've rewatched later seasons of Sailor Moon recently, and I think they do a better job. And I remember the later parts of this season doing a better job. But who knows?
Right.
I hope that it does.
Because I don't want the show to stop being silly, because it's a silly show sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's also just a thing that touches on...
If we never get another cat episode, then what's the point? Fucking bring Rhett Butler back.
Hashtag bring back Rhett Butler. That's going to be a very confusing hashtag for anybody not a fan of either this show or Sailor Moon itself. Bring back the weird love interest guy from Gone with the Wind.
Is there anything else you noticed?
I noticed you wanted to talk about Ale and An, and I want to hear what you have to say about that.
I think Ale and An are really fascinating.
Okay.
As a toxic relationship. They're both incredibly jealous.
Yes.
Of anything the other one does. They're both cheaters.
Yes.
I
really like that dynamic specifically. Just the fact that they are both really jealous of each other and want to have full undivided attention of the other, but also are looking for other people on their own sides.
And I think that's interesting as they're the villains.
Yes.
Right? We mentioned in the last episode, in the last season, Zoisite and Kunzite were a very, a pretty wholesome couple.
Yes.
Zoisite gets a little jealous sometimes, and a gag. But
it's a gag, and then Kunzite does a cute thing to make him feel better.
But for the most part, they're evil.
Yes.
But, their relationship is not presented as bad.
Right. It's maybe a little... It's the tying in of a entirely wholesome gay relationship with unrepentant villainy in a show that doesn't have so far any other gay relationships is not great.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
It's a fucking 90s kids TV show. I'm gonna take what I can get there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ale and An are the villains. They're, their goals don't seem inherently bad. They just want to keep living, kind of.
They want to keep living, but
they're also hurting people to accomplish that.
They're hurting people, and it seems like they intentionally went to this planet. It seems like they're fucking tourists.
Yeah,
they're alien tourists. They're nomadic nobles or whatever the fuck. They're fucking tourists. They're just going into a place and draining it of its resources so that they continue hanging out in the place.
Yeah.
They could, there's nothing suggesting so far that they can't leave. Right.
And, well, aside from, the Makai tree.
The Makai tree, I guess, is low on energy, but...
And
it's not established, it hasn't been established that they need the energy to, get home or anything. They are just draining energy to keep living, which is, you know, not a bad concern. I'm not gonna give them shit for that necessarily, but it's weird. Their motivations are still a little vague,
but like they're
not wholesome motivations.
They're the villains,
uh-huh,
and that layered on their very toxic relationship dynamic is I like it.
Yes.
I really like that they're evil and their relationship is not good.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, it's a very simplistic view
of a toxic relationship. Yeah.
And it's a very simplistic thing to make like the embodiment of a toxic relationship just unrepentant villains.
Right, sure.
But you know, in a kid's show that is about love, that I think that's cool.
I was gonna say, like, I even like how it almost feels like they are intentionally a parallel to like Usagi and Mamoru, who have definitely had a toxic relationship in the past. You can, again, with the pedophilia thing and everything, and you can argue that their whole relationship is inherently toxic, but again,
I don't want to just brush it aside as the pedophilia thing either. Again, we talked about this before, like...
A 17-year-old dating a 14-year-old sucks, even if they are reincarnations of a couple that
and also, like...
on the moon.
There is the fantasy of the older man, which is, you know, a thing.
But not an excuse for the writers who are adults who should know better than to depict that as desirable.
But again, is like a thing you kind of have to either accept or not, and if you don't accept it, that's completely valid.
Yeah. When I try to brush past that, I mainly am doing it not because it's not a big deal, but because we've talked about it so much before.
That's fair.
Like,
I just, since this is a new season, I wanted to make sure we reiterate that, like, neither of us is like fine. With that. It's bad, but it's something I just kind of live with.
Yeah, like it's part of the inherent premise of the show, and we've talked a lot about how it's bad. So like,
but yes, the parallels between Al-Anon and
Mamoru
Usagi.
And Usagi. Like I especially love that. Like, okay, Usagi, fucking hopeless romantic, is presented with roses by Seijiro and is like, hey, all right. But then is like, oh, wait, hang on, no. I have a reincarnation boyfriend. Can't do that. I need to go also. Like, that is very... Like, that's development, right? Like, that is... Because she doesn't know Seijiro is an asshole.
Right. As far as she's concerned, Seijiro is just a cute boy from her school.
Yes, who has now declared his love for her. And, like, season 1, Usagi... was very much like, I have two hands about Mamoru and Motoki. Well, not Mamoru, Tuxedo Mask and Motoki.
And I don't think the show is like, I don't know if it even entered the writers' minds to consider this, but like, I don't think the show is necessarily demonizing polyamory or anything like that.
No, absolutely not.
It's saying Usagi isn't going to cheat on Mamoru.
Yes. Like, because, like, maybe Usagi would be fine with, like, asking Mamoru about that kind of thing, if he would be okay with that. But also, for one thing, it feels like their relationship as it is depicted just feels very, I don't want to say dedicated, because that feels like I'm demonizing polyamory
It's
now.
monogamous.
It feels monogamous. But also, he literally can't consent to that right now.
Right, yeah.
So, like, she's not even gonna fucking consider it.
Right.
Although she considers it.
She's not gonna go through with it.
She's, like, human. It's fine. She's, like, human and romantic. So, like, yeah, if a cute boy is gonna hand her roses, then she's, like, gonna be at least a little intrigued for a moment. But she decides not to.
People say that, like, oh, it was just a mistake when they cheat. And the argument against that is like, no, you have to make a series of mistakes. Usagi made a mistake.
Yes.
Or like, I don't know if it's a mistake, but like, you know, Usagi's reaction to Seijiro would be fair for her to defend as a mistake.
Yes, absolutely.
Because she then did not go through with the other parts.
Yes. And I like that as Seijiro, or, well, Ale and On are actively cheating on each other, while Usagi is presented with the opportunity, is a character that we know is very into cute boys and romance and shit.
And cute girls.
and cute girls. I don't know if she consciously realizes that yet, but I don't know.
She definitely is.
And just refuses straight up because, again, ignoring the aspects we have talked about a lot, her relationship with Mamoru is largely pretty healthy.
Yeah.
It doesn't get a lot of time to be that throughout the narrative.
And it certainly starts in not a great place.
Yeah, no.
And is in that bad place right now since he doesn't have his memories.
Right. At least it's one-sided in that respect right now, because Usagi does know what their relationship was like, and he is too baffled by everything she's doing to him right now to actually make fun of her that much.
Yeah, that's true.
My favorite thing is, like, when she's clinging on to him and he's like, "Do you have a fever?" I love that, like,
he's not even a jerk.
Yeah.
And, like, he's a jerk in the first episode of this season, but in these next 2 episodes, he's just been confused.
Yes, he's confused and, like, seemingly, like, somewhat concerned. I do like that he's, like, maybe just being, like, he is a little bit like, "Are you okay?" Like, I'm, this is not our thing. Like, are you alright? Which I like that could be anything we observe these characters doing at this point, could be their memories leaking back. But, like, that I like the idea that that's, you know, he remembers something. Yeah. He doesn't actively hate Usagi. Right. I don't think he ever actively hated Usagi. He just is a dick who likes messing with her.
Yeah, he never hated her. He was just an asshole.
He was just insensitive to her feelings.
Yeah. Which is maybe worse.
But, you know. He's an asshole. She's kind of an asshole sometimes. They're both kind of assholes, but it turns out when they're together and not being assholes to each other, it's all right. They're all right. So also, on that note, first of all, I do super love that, like what you pointed out, like, this is a show in large part about romance, and so having the villains be a reflection of, like, a toxic relationship is very, like, there's a very good balance there that I love. Because, like, what did the fucking Dark Kingdom represent? Like, just mainly exploitation of things in general, mainly girls. So, and also that does a lot for Aelenon to, like, compensate, I think, for the lack of clever plans. Right. Because, like, all the clever plans that I say clever, I should put that in quotation marks, but all the plans that the Dark Kingdom had, like, for the most part, were about exploiting vulnerable people, especially young girls. Or somehow exploiting things that young girls care about sometimes. Like the fucking Pet Shop episode. Just like, well, what do girls like? Cute animals. Write that episode. So, like, having Aelenon's thing be a toxic relationship, like, between the two of them, that is emphasized more so than, like, whatever their plan is, and, like, having the monsters be sort of a sideline to that, and just making them big, angry, growly things that the sailors have to deal with. Like, that works pretty well, because the Dark Kingdom often had, like, relationships between each other, for sure, that didn't really tie into the themes of the show very much. No. Even, like, the romance one wasn't super tied into the themes of the show. It feels like they didn't comment on it very much. It was just something to humanize these characters. Yeah. Whereas, like, this feels, Aelenon's relationship is very much part of the themes and part of the, this is trying to say something. Like, this is an aspect of what the show is trying to say. What the show was trying to say with the Dark Kingdom was always tied up in whatever their weird plan was. Right. So, the Moonlight Knight...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We should talk about, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, so, that's Mamoru. I mean, we know that's Mamoru. We don't have to play with the bit.
It's the same voice actor.
It's the same voice actor. He's got the same eyes.
And
he
has
hair.
the roses.
He's got the roses. He likes to be tall. Toe to tip. That's a Mamoru. So, he's got a fourth identity.
Yeah. He sure does.
And it's weirdly culturally appropriative.
Yeah,
unless it turns out that Mamoru is just very light-skinned but has like a mom who is like from Iran. I don't know if that outfit would be something worn in Iran Iran or anything. I don't know enough about Middle Eastern countries, honestly.
Painfully ignorant about the Middle East and should fix that.
Yeah. I blame American school system for me, but
I mean,
although I was homeschooled, so also just books.
I was in Catholic school until I moved to America.
Okay, you definitely have an excuse.
So,
but so he's got his memories back. He's got memory. He knows who Sailor Moon is.
Well, remember how Tuxedo Mask appeared before Mamoru remembered anything about the Moon Kingdom. He was just having those dreams about, like...
Right! He was having the dreams, and then, like, Mamoru wasn't intentionally turning into Tuxedo Mask. He was getting fucking werewolfed every time Sailor Moon transformed. Which I don't know if they ever actually explained why that happened explicitly, but other than, I don't know, fate, destiny tied together or some bullshit.
I'm not saying that's, what's happening here.
Right.
But just that there's a clear parallel going on.
Mm-hmm. I do love... Sorry. I really forgot that Mamoru Chiba is a fucking superhero.
He's a werefop.
He's a werefop. Oh. Anyway, yeah, so he's got...
Something is happening.
Something is happening.
That is awakening some sort of dormant memories and making him become
a fucking sheik.
And, save Sailor Moon.
Where'd he get the scimitar?
God, who knows?
I guess if it's a transformation thing again, then, like...
Yeah, he just got it.
He could just get it as part... Because, like, he just got the top hat and the mask and everything. But, yeah, it is
a very interesting, like, visual parallel, how, like, Tuxedo Mask, like, everything but his eyes are covered and the rest of his face isn't, but the Moonlight Knight is covering everything but his eyes. That's neat.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah. They both have hats, also.
Yeah, they sure do.
Tuxedo Mask also primarily, like, black.
Yeah, the Moonlight Knight is
Moonlight All Might.
The Moonlight Knight is primarily a white outfit.
And then that also even contrasts a little bit with Endymion's outfit, which is not black, but it's, like, primarily dark blue, I think.
Yeah, yeah. He's got, like, red on his, like, weird pauldrons. But
those have a name. The, like, pauldrons with tassels on them, those have a name.
Oh, epaulets? I don't think he has epaulets.
Does he not?
No.
I thought he had epaulets.
He's just got, like, weird, sort of, like, rigid leather pauldrons.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Something's going on with him.
Something's going on with the Moonlight Knight.
Like, I hate that he knows who Sailor Moon is again. In a different outfit, though. In his fourth outfit. I cannot begin to imagine what is... Like, I want to theorize, but I cannot imagine why the fuck. Unless Mamoru is being a superhero intentionally.
But then why does he know who Sailor Moon is?
But then why does he know who Sailor Moon is? Unless it's, again, it has to be something to do with, like, some of his dormant memories. Or, like... But, okay, I was about to say, okay, Mamoru lost his memories, but Tuxedo Mask didn't. But Tuxedo Mask isn't the Moonlight Knight, I think.
No.
Because why would he have a different thing?
Yeah.
That would be really funny.
That would be funny.
If God, Mamoru just losing his memories a bunch.
Mamoru's got it rough.
Mamoru's got it rough. Yeah, also, even not having his memories can't save him from the life. Every time you think you're out, they pull you back in. He's still a fucking superhero.
The life. Alright, Sailor Moon, and we're gonna do one last job and then I'm out!
God, I would love to fucking... You know how... Okay, to everybody take a drink as I talk about tabletop RPGs. You know how Apocalypse World...
Mm-hmm.
So Apocalypse World is a post-apocalypse game, right?
Right, yeah.
But the character classes are all based on Firefly characters?
Is that true? I thought they were, like, Joss Whedon characters in general.
I think it's Firefly specifically, unless Firefly just kind of hits all of Joss Whedon's beats, which it might.
Yeah.
But, because it's very, like, the Brainer is very much River.
Right, yeah, The Battle Wave is Zoe.
The Gunlugger is Jane.
Right.
I love the idea of a fucking cyberpunk game where all of the where there are 6 character classes for each of the 5 Sailor Guardians and also Tuxedo Mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all... It's like one of them. I mean, the Sailor Moon one has to be the rabbit. They're all named after animals or something, and it's the rabbit.
Mars is the crow or the
raven.
raven.
Yeah.
I think that's all we have to say about these episodes.
Yes, so. I need to go design that game now.
As always, thanks for listening. You can find me at Lorena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at FryLordZarek on Twitter.
And you can find the show at late_school.
And thank you to Kevin MacLeod for the use of his song Semi-Funk.
The Moonlight is a messenger of love.
I'm just thinking about Gone with the Wind. I watched a movie about Gone with the Wind.
You watched a movie about Gone with the Wind?
I watched a video dissecting Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
And whether it should still, like, because it's got problematic elements.
Yeah, sure.
And whether or not, it's bad to keep watching still.
Mm-hmm.
Although notably, it's if you read into it, it's a pretty anti-slavery movie.
Yeah.
That's the part that most people complain about, is it's set in the South, like amidst the Civil War, and like the main characters are Southern, and most of them are pro-Southern, but it's still a pretty damning if you read into it against slavery. So Sailor Moon